Hi guys, my name is Isabella Greene. Today let's talk about spirits, old school magic, and all the new school healing modalities, all in one video. Let's talk about different medicinal plants that are known nowadays and what they do, what kind of spirits are transferable to human beings. I am nowadays doing entity work. I'm doing work where I am removing different spirits from human vessels, and you'd be surprised what kind of spirits are transferable to human beings. On that thought, I'm yet to see the spirit of any animal transferred into human beings through consumption, but I see a lot of plant spirits transferable to or living in human bodies through consumption. That said, these are usually the spirits of substances that are used to invoke different abilities. Ayahuasca, mushrooms, San Pedro, peyote. These are the plants, and there's probably a much longer list, but these are the main ones that I am aware of, that I have seen. And these plants are catered towards healing work, towards expansion, towards allowing the people who take them access to certain realms. But there is a catch here that I wanted to address with you today. I have observed that these plants invoke primitive spirits, elemental spirits that do that work for human beings. But there's a ceiling to that, and these spirits also get transferred into human beings. And sometimes they live inside the human vessel. When they live inside the human vessel, they do different things. They follow their script. First of all, they don't belong in a human being in a big city. So the human being is going to have this constant longing to, first of all, do more of the same substance, because the spirit is trying to pull in more of itself. It's not getting more of the same kind of energy, so it's trying to pull in more of itself. Secondary, these spirits, when they live inside human vessels, they create a ceiling. These spirits are, of course, helpful on a certain level. They do healing work on a certain level, but they operate on the level of elementals, animal spirits, plant spirits, and lower astral and probably astral realm. But when it comes to access to higher dimensional realms, these spirits actually constitute blockages. I have worked with many people who reach out to me and ask me the same question. Why am I not able to truly connect with the higher self? Why am I not able to truly connect with my cosmic origin? Why am I not able to truly connect with my galactic team? Or I know that they're here and they're working with me, or I'm trying to get the message, but every time I try to reach out, I get blocked out. Why is that? All right, so I check their vessels for presence, and in 99% of these cases, I find that that person tried to expand their consciousness through the use of medicinal plants that were traditional in this practice, in shamanic practices, in the old energy. Of course, these are the tribal plants, the tribal shamanic practices. These practices were rooted in the old energy. That's all that was available back then. That's all that the human beings had access to. So yes, they would invoke spirits of the jungle through ayahuasca, or spirits of the mushroom, or a spirit of San Pedro, or peyote. That's the naturally given spirit. Pot, by the way, as well. Pot expands you, as long as you're on this level, it expands you to right here. And then you can't go any further, because now you just hitting the ceiling of what that substance allows you to reach. And when the person is on a really low level themselves, they're just the beginner in their journeys, they are just starting, and they have blocked 3D mind blockages. Yeah, these substances and these medicinal plants, they're very effective because they take the filters down and the person gets to experience themselves as oneness with everything. Well, we know that nature is in oneness with everything. Elemental spirits are in oneness. Animal spirits are in oneness. Everything supports the next thing. That's natural for elemental realm and for earth realm. But then these people find that they're unable to move past these realms. They also are not developing emotionally. They keep looping in the same space because the spirit of the jungle, say ayahuasca, right, does its job. It has a job description, and that job description does not go past that job description. So when, for example, I got a session with someone who used to do ayahuasca, did ayahuasca a number of times, and they want an activation, they want the cosmic origin, they want access to their galactic teams, they want to experience the void, they want to experience connection with higher dimensional civilizations. Until we remove the spirit of the jungle that lives in their bodies, that is not available to them. And they also only gain access, they become dependent on that substance, on that spirit, on that herb, on that practice, shamanic practice, for their expansion and growth. So these things are good to a certain degree, but we are now moving into a whole new reality. We have moved into a whole new reality where people, the star seeds, are actually recalling their cosmic origin. Are actually channeling new energies, higher frequencies that are higher than what the spirits of the jungle or the primitive spirits or animal spirits or plant spirits or astral realm gives you access to. And so if you're practicing using the old shamanic style healing through different types of herbs, medicinal, old school practices, then you're setting yourself up to a certain level. You're going to be hitting the glass ceiling and not going to be able to reach past that. I see that over and over. People come to me over and over with the same exact question. And talking about the new school modalities versus the old school modalities, why we as human beings, we had no access to higher dimensional healing modalities, to higher frequencies. That's all very new. It all just started happening recently. Recently we started being able to download these frequencies because Earth is moving into a whole different reality, into a whole different space energetically. When you as a cosmic being came to Earth and incarnated here, and you wanted to do healing work back during the times when only elemental spirits were available, only old school magic was available, only shamanic practices were available, and the energetics of nothing else was available, yes, that worked wonderfully. They worked really, really good. This is all you had to work with. Invoking the old school magic, using traditional tribal medicinal plants that are provided by the land makes perfect sense, right? But now we can channel the whole different level of frequency. The whole planet is in a whole different level of frequency, so keeping yourself rooted in the old modality is not always beneficial. It's only beneficial to a certain degree, like I said, and then you have blocked yourself, really. So as an example, let's take sound healing, right? Let's imagine that there's an old school practitioner, shamanic practitioner of sound healing. What would they do? They would be using drums, they would be drumming, they would be using other instruments that are made out of plants, right? And they would be producing sound like they did in tribal times and prehistoric times and throughout the entire human history. And that works to a certain degree. But now we know that there are much higher frequencies that are available through different types of instruments, through different types of practices. We now know that if you take a measure and create the frequency, the sound of 432 hertz, that is way more effective than basic drumming, right? If you take, and nowadays, people have science to show these frequency, and people are creating those tones in the sound healing practices. And where is this coming from? Why wasn't that around 100 years ago, 50 years ago, even 20 years ago? Why wasn't that around? Why all we knew is sound healing as, drums and sound bowls and stuff? So we are expanding. We're expanding into new modalities of healing, new understanding of things. We're moving, and I hope we are. I hope the majority of us, the awakened ones, the light workers, the ones who have connected to the higher realms, moving past the need and the interest in using old school practices, old school shamanic substances, traditional, to old school healing work. Because these will get you stuck in a loop. These will populate your bodies with spirits that don't belong there. And these will create the glass ceiling for you as well. So guys, I hope this is helpful for you, and I hope this explains some stuff, because I cannot tell you how often I work with people who come to me with the same question: why can I not reach higher dimensional realms? Why do I get stuck? I've done ayahuasca, I used to do mushrooms a lot, I used to, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and it would give me the access to that feeling, or the realms, or the visuals, and now that's where it stopped. It's not going anywhere now. Well, perhaps you have that spirit in your body that's also going to want more of the same. So I think the addictions to substances like that are rooted in, partially rooted in having that spirit occupying your physical form. It wants more. It wants more of itself. Give me more of myself so that I could flourish, so I can feel good. I actually seen, this is a different subject, but I have seen the spirits of wine from grape wines living in human bodies. I have never seen the spirits of a chicken or a cow or any animal that human beings consume living in their bodies. But I have seen the spirits of wine from grape wines. And sometimes they travel. I worked with someone who visited Italy for a while and was drinking red wine, and then when I was checking, there was a grape spirit in their liver. I didn't know that they were just in Italy. I didn't know what they would do in there, what they were drinking or whatever, but I observed that. And so she said, it made me really want to drink more and more. Yeah, because the spirit is trying to replenish itself with the energy, like attracts like, with the energy of more of itself. All right, so that kind of brings you into the whole eating plants versus eating animals. I think that animal spirits depart instantly. As soon as the body is dead, animal spirits are gone. They transition, same like human beings, they transition into reincarnation cycle or a recycling of the soul. But I've observed that plant spirits linger in plants. Of course, take a look at your salad, for example, right? You're eating it alive. So you're consuming not only the chemical composition of that, but you're also consuming the soul of the plant that you're eating. And, well, I've never worked with someone who needed the salad spirit removed from them, but I've worked with a number of people who had to have the medicinal plant spirits removed. So just, just keep that in mind. There's a few possibly controversial ideas here because, oh my God, I'm sure people are going to be very unhappy. People who are connected to old medicinal shamanic practices and worship ayahuasca as the greatest god of healing. Yes, it is the greatest god of healing if you're on a certain level of development. All right, so here we are. I think this is all I wanted to share with you today. If you'd like to have a session with me, you can reach me at isabellagreene.com. Please keep in mind that I'm really busy nowadays, booked a few months in advance, but send me a session request form and I will get back to you to schedule an introductory interview. Thank you for tuning in today. Please subscribe for more videos every week. I love you. Take care. Namaste.